Well, it's so good to see you guys. Thanks for joining our first Tuesday Tea Craft. I'm Sarah Glass. I am with Interface in LA. My teammate Christina Wirtz is with me as well.
I'm Mary Beth Cacciatolo. I'm the Buzzy Space rep in LA. So thank you guys for joining.
And I am Ashley Ratchie, your Knoll Textiles representative here in LA. We are super excited about this. This is our first time doing a live craft, and I did lock my kids outside, so you might hear beating at the door, let me in. But what I want to do is kind of help everyone get set up for this. I know that you have all probably received the directions in which your kit, but I'm just going to quickly walk it through so everybody, if you haven't already prepared or kind of put your stuff out, you can do that during this time. Yes, perfect. So here's a quick view of just some of the stuff that you received in your packet. You've got the indigo dye, you've got the fixative, which is going to be used after we do the dyeing process to actually make the color stay longer as you wash it over time. You've gotten gloves, you've gotten some twine, some rubber bands, a couple of plexiglass squares that you can use. So let's go to the next slide. So we're going to start by preparing your area. Probably the most important thing is going to be protecting either your table or wherever you're doing this craft. Put down some plastic, kind of protect your surroundings, and also make sure you wear your gloves. I can speak firsthand that this will dye your hands and you will have blue hands for a while. I looked like a Smurf for a couple days, so just remember to use your gloves. You will also want to have 2 bowls, plastic bins, just 2 big vats that we can put water in for the process. You want to make sure that you have extremely hot water. So that's going to really help with the color dyeing process. So I have a vat of hot water that I was boiling on the stove. If you guys need to do that, maybe start doing that right now. We can take a quick pause if you need to start boiling some water, put in the microwave, whatever you're going to do.
I have a question.
Yes.
So there's actually 3 of us here. Can we share the same bowl for the fixative? Because I don't think we have that many bowls.
Yes, you can. It shouldn't really turn the color too strong of a dye color or anything, but you should have plenty. But maybe make double the batch,
okay,
so that you have enough to kind of fill or fit everybody's into the one bucket.
Okay, sounds good.
And that is one of the good things about these bottles. So you did get a pretty large bottle. We're not going to use all of this today.
Doing a thing. Yeah. Thank you.
But hopefully this will give you a good testing ground, and then in the future you can do something else. Okay, so if you've been got your water boiled, what you also want to do, and full disclosure, I don't think Mary Beth, Sarah, or I actually pre-washed any of our cloths, but it's okay. What you want to do is make sure that you get this cloth wet. So I have a bowl of water right here. I'm going to soak my fabric in that.
We're gonna need to be wet, I guess.
And then you can wring that dry.
Do we do hot water or cold water?
This one is going to be cold water, so you're just getting it wet, so it's easier for you to fold. So this is cold water. I just got it wet, ready for me to do the next process. You can set that aside, because we're going to go over folding techniques after the fact. If you have your water already hot, or you're waiting, what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your bowls and add your hot water to that first bowl.
Oh, yeah.
How much, Ashley?
It's getting like a facial line doing this.
Oh.
Next, you're going to want to add your dye. So I am going to use about a fourth
1
or
gallon
quarter
water,
of this dye bottle.
quarter.
The more dye that you put into it, the more intense the color is going to be. So if you want it to be that really, really deep, rich blue, I would add more dye to the actual
There's
bucket.
1 bowl. Yeah, 1 gallon of water.
And then, because all of the product that we sent you guys is actually cotton, if you have just some table salt, I've just got some regular iodized table salt. If you add, I'm putting about a tablespoon in here, into that, it'll also help intensify the color a little bit. And then you want to mix it all up. Try not to splash if you haven't protected your surface.
Oh, the whole bowl? Maybe. Let's just see what happens and put like a little bit of blue dye. We'll just play it right here.
Yeah.
All right. Now you will put that aside and we will be able to review the different folding, twisting, tying techniques with the fabric that you've already gotten wet.
Perfect.
Just so that everybody is aware before we get too far into this process and everyone's going to get creative and go on their own path, we want to go over kind of the full process. So just so you know, once you've folded, which we will go through all the folding possibilities, once you're done folding all of your little masks and paper, you're going to want to put that into this vat of dye. It says to put it in there for 20 minutes. I can just tell you from experience that the longer you keep it in, so this is about 20 minutes. This one with more intense blue, I think I'd forgotten it was in there for like 40 minutes. So this is the part that it's up to you as to how intense you want that color to be and how long you want to wait. But you put that into the hot water dye salt mixture. Once you've waited that duration of time, you're going to put so you're going to have more hot water. So while you're waiting during this time, make some more hot water.
Also, if you leave it longer, it gets.
You're going to want to put that into the additional bowl that you have, and that's going to be your second step. You're going to put another quarter of the fixative into the second bowl. When you're done soaking your little items, you'll put it directly into the second bowl and let it sit there for another 20 minutes. That's going to help keep that color
The first minute.
so it can last through washes and different things like that. And then after that, you'll be able to take it out, rinse it off with cold water, and then you can wash, dry, whatever you want with it. So that's just a quick overview of the entire process, but we're going to next go into the different folding techniques that you can use to create all these fun designs.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. So I'm going to just quickly go through some of the folding techniques. I know some of you may already know what you're folding. You may have looked at the instruction booklet in your RIT kit, and this will give you a good idea of some of the techniques and then the different results on each of the techniques. But we thought we would just quickly go through a few more with you, and then while you're preparing, maybe getting your second bowl with the fixative finalized, we're going to share a little video with you. So I'm just going to get going. So obviously you guys know there's so many different techniques. These are just a few beautiful ones, and we really want you guys to get creative, so don't be stressed out and you know if your design's going to be perfect. It's kind of all about the reveal and the surprise with Shibori. So just to go through some of the more traditional ones, Sarah's actually going to give you guys a quick history of Shibori because we think that that's really important and super interesting. But to help you guys select your design, I was going to go through the more traditional ones. So there's Kanoko. So this one is basically what a lot of people think of as tie-dye. It's basically a bound technique. So depending on where you put your thread, that's going to leave basically an imprint. So you kind of control the design in that way. And how tightly you bind it and the spacing of the thread will obviously affect the pattern. And then the next one, click here, is going to be kumo. So kumo actually means cloud in Japanese, which we thought was really interesting. And this is, again, it's a bound technique, but you actually pleat it first. So it's going to be a little more specific in the results. And this one in particular kind of looks like a spider, which is really interesting. And then next is the itagime technique. So basically this is a shape resist technique where you're going to use something like the acrylic squares in your box or things like binder clips. And basically that really shapes the design. So that's gonna make the dye resistant in those areas. So be mindful of where you put the clips. And then just another technique basically with rubber bands in that same style. And then we have the arashi, which is a pole wrapping technique, which is really beautiful. Arashi actually means storm in Japanese, and that's in result of the pattern. So it's kind of like a heavy storm with rain at that diagonal with this technique. So I'm gonna go ahead while you guys are kind of and also if you guys can mute maybe your microphone unless you have questions, that would be awesome. Just so there's like some background noise, but we're gonna play a video and it's gonna give kind of a closer look at how to do some of the folds, and hopefully this will kind of help you guys decide what to do. I'm hearing some comments, which is good. So hopefully that helped. Again, there's so many different ways you guys can do this. So does anyone have any questions? I think we could pause at this stage and see if anyone has any questions about the setup or any of the folds. Ashley, Sarah, and I do have some examples that we can kind of hold up and demonstrate. We also have some really fun masks because we all included masks. So you guys might have some sort of creative ideas for that. So.
And don't think too hard about it. No matter what you do, it's gonna look cool. You're like nervous the first time, but it will look cool.
Definitely will. You never know. And the masks turned out great. So like, I'll get up close to show this one. This one actually has like some stripes in it. And this one was actually quite an easy fold. So this was like an accordion fold. Let me see if I can. So this was an accordion fold back and forth to get it taut. And then you fold it in half. So all your strings are on one side. And then I did 2 rubber bands, like one at the top and one in the middle. So if you want more of like a stripe pattern, that's how I would fold your mask.
No-go. And then which was the one with the blocks? I think that one is a must.
Do we have any requests from anyone? Since there's quite a few people on, maybe the 3 of us, like Sarah just demonstrated her mask. I did a different technique where I actually kind of fixed my mask to a jar, and I did something similar to the arashi, which is the pole wrapping technique, where after I fixed the mask to the jar, I took some twine and then wrapped it around, and basically where the twine was, you have that sort of stripe pattern. So kind of cool.
Beautiful. How long do you guys leave it in a hot bath?
So it really depends. If you want more of a contrast, you should actually take it out quicker after about 5 minutes. But if you want the color to be a little bit more even, you should leave it in longer. And also the longer you leave it in, if it's like 10 to 20 minutes, it's gonna give you more of that sort of deep indigo color. Whereas I kind of wanted a washed out look in some of them. So this is the Kanoko. So that's kind of like the traditional tie-dye. And I kind of wanted it to be more washed out. So I left it in for less time, probably about 5 minutes.
You can
and keep in mind when you wash it, it's also going to take out some of the dye as well.
Yeah.
So Ashley's actually.
I would leave it in longer than 20 minutes.
Yes, longer than 20 if you want a really deep dye.
So for this particular mask, I did this one, and it was super easy to do. What I did was I took the mask and then I just pinched up little sections and tied them off.
And that's going to be the circle technique, which is the last technique that Ashley's showing, which is in your instruction kit or in your instruction booklet.
You can make it small little things. I did it smaller on the mask, or you could do bigger chunks if you're doing it on your on one of your tea towels.
So Sarah, which one are you actually doing live?
I've got two in the cooker right now. So I've got my mask. My mask has actually been simmering for a while. I actually might wait 4 more minutes and switch that into the fasten bath. And then I tried something different because I don't have, like, again, like, be creative, use what you guys have at home. So I didn't have clamps, but I had like hanger clips. So I used these to kind of create like a butterfly. I'll get closer. Almost like a butterfly pattern, and put the rubber band here and then put some clamps here. So we'll see how this one turns out. But again, like, feel free to grab things that you guys have at home, get creative.
So I tried the pole wrapping one, and I happen to not have PVC pipe. Like, who has PVC pipe at a 2-foot length at their home? So I used a vase. So that was kind of interesting. Don't know if I love it, but it's okay. The love is in the creative process, right, guys? So it's kind of it's very different, and honestly, it's very different from what the booklet showed, but that's okay.
If anyone joined a little bit late, does anybody want us to go back through kind of the starting process and getting your tub of dye together?
Yes, please.
Yes? Okay. I will happily do that. So what you want to do, so I have my dye back here. What I did was I started with very, very hot water. So I have one of those little hot water tea makers. You could boil water or put it in the microwave, but you want it to be very hot, probably even hotter than we can actually make it, but just as long as it's safe for the fabric. So you start by pouring that into your, it can be glass, plastic, whatever big bowl that you have. You then want to add your dye. I did about 1/4 of the bottle. The more dye that you add, the more intense of a color it will likely be. This whole bottle is enough for like 4 pounds of fabric. So just think about that. You'll be able to get a lot of product done with this. So use this as maybe a little training, and then this weekend, if you want to do something really crazy, you can do some more. All of the product that we sent you guys are cotton materials. So they say to add some salt, just table salt, in with the dye and the hot water. So I put a tablespoon of table salt. You don't have to do that. It will intensify the color. I have done it with and without that step, and they both turned out just fine. One a little bit more intense with the salt, but you want to put that directly into the salt bath and then stir it really well. And then that is basically ready for you to put any of your folded fabric into. You want that to sit in there for at least 20 minutes. It really depends on the intensity that you want. You know, if you want a really pale kind of lighter color, you can even just dip it in certain places. But the longer that you have it in there, the more intense the color will be. The second step, so after you have let it sit in there as long as you would like to, the next step is going to be doing the color fixative. So this is just kind of helping lock in that color into whatever you are doing. That process is very similar to what you did with the dye. You only add the fixative to the hot water. So the same hot water, same amount of fixative, so about 1/4 of it into the bowl. I haven't done that step yet. Once you take it out of the dye, you want to put it directly into the color fixative for another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that'll lock in the color.
And I'm actually ready to do that, so I'll show you guys. I'm gonna take my mask out. It's gone to a dark blue color, and I'm gonna switch it into this mask.
That's beautiful, by the way.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
What do you do next? You put it in the washing machine to get the excess color? What do you do?
You can air dry it. You can.
Oh, air dry might be a good idea.
Hella, that's amazing.
How long did you have it in there, Hella?
Did you guys start talking?
You guys are
Like
so
time
fast.
after, like 20 minutes?
20 minutes. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Then hang it out to dry.
And did you use the acrylic, oh, she walked away, but it's
What?
probably, did you use the acrylic squares for that?
Yeah, these two.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then just rubber bands around after a zigzag. But I think that's the triangle one.
That
Yeah.
turned out so nice.
I'm gonna do the same too, and they always turn
I love
out a
the
little different.
intenseness of the color.
That looks so cool.
Do you guys have any questions on folding or anything? Because Sarah has some very interesting facts, fun facts that we can review too, and the history. You guys are ready for some interesting history, fun facts?
All right. So we'll share some fun, 5 fun facts about shibori and some history, if you guys are curious. So shibori is considered to be one of the oldest indigo dye techniques. Started in Japan. It's said to have started in China, but there's a lot of controversy around that.
Tell me more.
I know. Honestly, if you research it a little bit, there seems to be a lot of conflict. Some people say it started in China, some people say it started in Japan, but I don't think anyone can really decipher who started it. so we'll see. We'll see. And then shibori is the Japanese word for a variety of ways of embellishing textiles by shaping cloth and securing it before dyeing. The word comes from the verb root shiboru, to wring, squeeze, or press. So obviously we're doing a lot of that today. And then the earliest surviving examples of shibori dye cloth date back to the mid-8th century. This is part of why it's such a controversy, is like finding the artifacts and the history to confirm where it really originated from. And then 3 main techniques. So Mary Beth showed us a lot of techniques before. So these are kind of the 3 categories. So kokechi is tied or bound, the most traditional. Rokechi is wax, and they've even done wax painting on it as well. And then kayokechi, where it's more of the clamp, the resist, where the fabric is folded and then clamped. And then shibori was originally an artistic form of the poor. So in federal Japan, people could not afford expensive fabrics like cotton or silk. So clothes were often made of cheap hemp fabrics. And then people couldn't afford to regularly replace their clothes. So to repair them, they re-dyed them. And the art of shibori evolved as a means of making old clothes look new. So let us know if you have questions. Again, like, feel free to be creative. Let us share what you're doing over there. Maybe some output. Someone listening to some good music over there?
I
like it.
So while Sarah and I are soaking things, you guys feel free, you can look at some of the creations too that we did, just as inspiration.
Yeah. Okay. And feel free to ask questions in the chat as well. I've seen a few of those come in. Feel free to chat us as well.
I think this scrunch is one of my favorites because you cannot go wrong. Very organic.
Can you use the little like plexiglass squares?
Yes, so the ones where the plexiglass squares are used, they're the first 2 that are in the instruction booklet. I'm actually working on one too, and what it does, it basically, it's the resist technique. So wherever that square is going to go, it's going to resist the dye from absorbing into the fabric. So you kind of get that negative space. Actually, what's shown in the slide right there is I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, it's itagem. So that's one of the very traditional methods. So do you need help with folding one of them, or sort of?
Yeah, that's the one I want to do.
So one of the basic folds that that technique uses is an accordion fold. And basically, if anyone, I don't know if you guys have tried this too, but basically an accordion fold, you're gonna fold the fabric in half first. I'm gonna actually unbind this. And I don't know if you can, here, I'm gonna demonstrate for you right here. I got so obsessed with doing these that I used all my towels except for I really overdid it because I had so much fun. So I have, this is my last towel. So just a second. Basically with the accordion fold, you're going to wrap your towel in half like so. Can you see this okay?
Yes.
Just like that. And then you're going to lift one of the sides and sort of overlap it. So bring the corners up like that. And then kind of lay it back down on itself. So what you'll end up with is sort of a double fold on one of the sides. Okay? So that's your basic accordion fold. And then, I mean, you guys can do whatever you want. The booklet shows 4, but if you want a smaller pattern, you can double that, and you can do an accordion fold of 8. Yeah. And then basically, once you have that accordion fold, you know, I'll show you the square one just because it's the easiest. You're going to divide up your fabric and do an accordion fold in squares. And that means you fold the fabric over, and then you're going to fold it back on top of itself. So you're kind of going back and forth with the fabric.
Do you use the plexiglass at all?
So then, so this is the square one with the plexiglass, and mine's in the bin, it's soaking. But then you would adhere the, you would basically sandwich the plexiglass on each side, and then use rubber bands.
Got it.
And we have an image. Actually, the first example is what I just did in your booklet. So that's the square method.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that helps.
Yes.
I wish I had more of a folding surface. All right, so some of you guys may be about ready to pull out your designs. How's everybody doing? Is everyone covered in dye?
I hear some laughing over there.
Kelly.
I love that.
Better go soak those hands. All right.
Sasha's gonna look all prim.
Wear your gloves, everyone. I already took my gloves off because it was hard to fold, and now I'm gonna have Smurf fingers.
I'm gonna try to just keep one glove on. Maybe that's the trick.
Okay.
Sarah, how are you doing? Are you about ready to pull any of the examples out? Or you're gonna do darker?
I'm almost there with my mask. My mask is sitting in the bin right now, and then that I'll put into, I've got a little cold bowl of water to dunk it in. So that's the next one. And then this one I'm actually trying to get a little bit darker, but we might actually be ready to take him out and put him in. He's pretty dark, but I want him to be dark. So we'll stick him in there. And then hopefully this butterfly guy will fit in. He's my last one. So he's going in.
Ooh.
Does everybody have a cocktail? Anybody drinking anything good over there?
I found you a paper towel. Oh, yes.
This is the time to get your drink while you're soaking.
Always time for a good cocktail. This is
Oh, that was great. Cheers.
I have no idea, but it's licorice and lemon, and it's like a sour what gummy bear?
Look at you.
I know, it looks so fancy.
I had a built-in bartender, and Nina got her license, so this is really an awesome time to be in COVID or quarantine.
Yeah, that's like a proper cocktail right there.
That is.
Not that I would expect anything less.
I like it.
I'm curious. Has anybody done this before?
Nope.
No?
No.
Yay!
For Mother's Day, we did something different, but it was t-shirts, and then we had, tote bags, but it was the yarn that was the dye. So you just kept making whatever pattern you wanted with your yarn. You cut them, and you could do the what do you call it, the mouse trap, and put the yarn in between. But the yarn was the dye, which was
You
really
did?
neat.
That is cool.
Interesting.
I do too, but I don't know. Does like leaving it longer mean that it bleeds more into?
I don't think so.
I think this was supposed to be white.
So another cool technique too that Ashley kind of talked about was like doing more of a deep dye where you don't completely submerge all of your fabric in.
It'll be all.
And you kind of, Ashley, do you have like an ombre kind of,
Yes.
which is really pretty. You know, you
I
can
actually
control
don't
like
have it
how you dip your fabric.
Yes. So it's really easy to do. I actually could do it for you right here.
Really cool. Two different sizes, sorry. Spider products in our so and so
So if you wanted to do an ombre style,
Wait, so are they?
so for this one, I'm actually going to do an ombre on both sides. So what I'm going to do is take my fabric and just fold it in half.
You give us like how many?
And then fold it in half this way. So I can dip both ends into the color. And the easiest way, I mean,
I get it.
actually, normally I would have a rod of some sort or a hanger that I could let it rest in the tie-dye for a little bit, but I'm gonna do just kind of a simple one. So I'm going to put as much as I want it to go in, and then I'm gonna pull a little bit out, wait a little bit longer,
Oh, I guess that's
so that the color intensifies in the areas where I kept it in the dye.
so it's like
Then slowly take it out.
That'd be cute. Look at how cute it is.
wait. So did she start with the more inside one first, and then slowly?
No, it's just absorbing in. Like it's going out.
We have to throw it in there.
I'm going to try that technique, Ashley, with the Kanoko. Just see what happens.
Oh yeah.
If you guys accidentally put salt in the in the fastener, I think you should be okay. I think it'll turn out all right.
Oopsie.
You're right.
Wait, do you want to
Yeah. Wait.
I'm going to let this soak.
And then she like slowly pulls it up, right?
Maybe she did dip it more down.
And then again,
I'm just
when you
kind
guys
of
are
going-
ready, like I'm kind of done. I'm done with this one sitting in that fastener for 20 minutes. You'll rinse with cold water, but I'm just gonna put it in a cold water bath for now.
Maybe like
I mean, it'll be water. Yeah.
let it soak longer. They're so late.
Remember to keep your pattern bound before you put it in the fixative.
I know. Like, what the hell? Wait, you take the binding off from the fixative?
So don't take the binding off until you rinse it in cold water.
Take the binding off.
Come look. Yeah.
And if you guys want to post pictures of your designs today and what comes out, please feel free to hashtag TuesdayTLA.
So is this their
And you can follow us on Instagram. We each have Instagrams, KT Los Angeles, Interface LA, or Buzzy Space.
The Buzzy Space team in Belgium will be like, what are they doing in LA? Okay, I don't have a direct Instagram for Buzzy Space LA, but I tend to post Buzzy Space inspiration on my personal Instagram.
I love it, Mary Beth. I don't know your name by heart.
MB Cacciatola. All right.
We're making Shibori already. We should do that more. You know what we should do?
Hella, did you do your mask yet?
I did my mask and I'm totally going crazy. Now I just did a white towel.
Oh, beautiful.
That'd be good for the gym, I thought. So I'm on the roll, you guys.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be like dyeing their socks and like anything like that.
I thought that crap.
I'm gonna steal my son Isaac's socks so he can have tie-dye socks tomorrow.
I'm definitely dyeing socks right now.
I love
I was thinking too, like baby bibs. You know, if you guys have kids, anybody on the call, like it's so cute, little handkerchiefs.
If anyone does have kids, I did this with my nieces, and it is actually, if you're outside and in a safe space and, you know, maybe they're in their swimsuits or skivvies or something, this is really fun for them too. So if you're looking for some ideas.
I think it is slightly messy though.
I've seen the Shibori kits that also have the spray bottles or the squeeze bottles, which are interesting. So it's kind of like you squeeze the dye over the fabric, which might be a little cleaner for kids.
Hi, Perla.
Hi, Hella.
Miss you.
Miss you too.
So after you guys rinse with cold water, you can take off your rubber bands and kind of see the fun patterns that you've created.
That's so cute.
Ooh.
Ashley, yours looks so cute. I loved your polka dot one yesterday, so I had to.
We will all have to model our masks at some point.
Yeah.
Perla, are you doing this live?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I am. I didn't realize you guys could hear. Yeah, I am doing it.
Yay, I can't see you.
I know. I don't know why my camera's not working. I don't.
Oh, it's okay. But you guys, feel free to hold up your stuff once it's at a point where you're pulling it out of the water and revealing it, because it's always so fun to see everybody's designs.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah. I want to see.
No, your camera's turned off.
Huh. Okay.
So when you guys do wash these, it does say mild detergent. I only have Tide. And I could tell it did fade considerably, so just be mindful how, the detergent that you use and I guess the amount that you put in.
Maybe use that woolite, the
Yes.
woolite detergent. Put a cup of vinegar into your washing machine.
Yes, woolite would be much better.
Hello, you're so good.
I'm old, that's why.
We need your partner to do a cocktail class.
Oh, we could do that. Nina, my baby here, she's the bartender.
Oh,
Have a license.
I love it.
So you can definitely have her create something if you need to. Wow, I'm selling my kids now too. I love it.
That's so cool.
Is anyone struggling or need any help with anything?
Are you guys all in the creative flow right now?
When we were going through this beforehand, we were like, oh, you know, we're going to go through all these techniques and stuff, but like, we're like, at the end of the day, they're just going to be probably more creative than anything we show them and blow us out of the water, so.
Very true. Right over there. This was fun. Super excited to see what you guys come up with over there.
Yeah.
And what you're dyeing. I love that everyone's dyeing socks. I feel like there should be an award for most like creative item.
Good.
I should get my boyfriend's white t-shirt that's all stained up. Tie dye that for him.
We're all going to be wearing Shibori at home.
I'll go to the gym like this, and then when I start sweating, I'm gonna.
Oh, that is so cool. It reminds me of an X-ray.
I'll be blue when I
Oh,
start.
Ivana, that looks cool.
I don't know what happened to this side.
Folded it.
That looks so good.
That's
Did you
beautiful.
do that? Happened to like? Did you do the accordion?
I folded it like in a triangle, accordion and then a triangle, and then I did like 3 or the same as you did, Sarah. I think you did the same thing.
Yeah, because mine came out that way too, and I wasn't expecting it. Like, it had some cool ones on the end, but then it got really white at the part of yours. Where
I
was
meant
like,
to do that though, right?
I was totally, yes! Oh my gosh, so that was a learning experience.
Yeah.
All right, no judging. Put the other things in because it took forever. My math.
I like that one has more white in it.
Oh, I love that.
Good.
I had 2 more white ones at home, so I'm like gonna practice more.
That is so cool. I love that.
Did you just crunch it up, Kathleen?
It's so good to see you, Sarah.
Yep, just scrunch it up and put only a couple rubber bands on it. So interesting, but I like it.
Looks good. People are gonna want to know where we got our masks. We're gonna be like, sorry, I made it.
Yeah. Custom.
Custom.
No way, we should sell them. Top dollar.
Blow up on Etsy. I feel like everyone's got an Etsy store right now.
Anybody else have any examples?
I'm gonna take out one of the socks I did just to see, because I'm curious. It hasn't quite been in there 20 minutes, I don't think. It's hard to, I don't even know what time it is, honestly.
I'm very impatient too.
Yeah.
Finishing bowl. Yeah.
No.
We have about 10 minutes. And we will all stay on if you guys have questions.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I see Inga's.
Thank you.
I want to see Inga's.
Oh, wow. That's
That looks
beautiful.
great.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is really cool, Inga. That's
Which,
really
Inga,
nice.
which one is that one? The second one?
Oh.
I sort of just faked it. I adapted the folding techniques, and then I used a lot of rubber bands, and I am soaking one now that used the rope, so I'm curious to see how it turns out.
That's so cool. Love it.
It's Shibori.
It's different.
Be like, guys, look what I made. Stir it. Yeah, it looks like a turd.
If you have scissors, it does help kind of taking off the ribbon.
That's what we had to go for to transfer.
Okay, I have one ready.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Love it.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's the Kanoko, right?
Very cool.
Yeah, Kanoko.
Cool.
I love that.
Oh, that's so cool. I love seeing all these.
I do too.
It's cool to understand the basics, right? And then apply them to just create your own unique creation. And
There it is.
just being traditional.
Oh, how cool. It looks beautiful.
Does someone else have one? Hold on.
Oh, I love it.
He's just not because he's not. You're like, guys.
Oh,
Oh, your sock.
oh my gosh,
Oh my
is that for
God.
your son, Inga? That's so
That's cute.
That
That's
is
what I made. It's a
Yes.
paper towel.
You guys are so
It looks cool. Actually, it looks cool.
So fun.
Yeah, it looks good.
Might you want to? Actually,
Ours
look mad as.
It's kind of fun. You could honestly take a small square piece of paper or a paper towel and do folds to test it.
Because it's, I set them for 20 minutes, like way after we put it in.
20 minutes in your time.
It's so we can see.
All right. I'll take some of these off.
Where's my paper towel? What time is it now? 4:55? I'm going to buy herself a white t-shirt.
I got one more. Let's see.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh, my
that's
gosh.
beautiful.
I love it.
Oh, he is a tie-dye master.
Yeah,
Good luck.
I love it.
so pretty. You guys will also post this video, I think we mentioned, so you guys can rewatch it or share it. Oh, that's so cute, Ashley.
Let me see.
I don't even see any white. I'm the last way to do it. It's like,
This is how my towel came out. It kind of faded, so it's like white up top, and then it kind of has these cool.
Pretty.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that.
So.
That's like the ombre effect, Sarah.
It is. I unintentionally did the ombre, and then there's kind of these like cool circle patterns at the bottom. I really love whoever's playing music. So like zen and chill. Chill's not
Triangle. Kind of cool. Very geometric.
That's so pretty.
It reminds me of tile, you know?
Oh, Mary Beth, yours turned out so cool.
So this is the second one that's in the little booklet, the triangle one.
Really cool.
also need a bowl of cool water. That was so hot.
Oh, really? I just did the same.
Ooh, pretty.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's so cool.
What technique is that? Or is it your own creation? It's really cool.
Creative. He did spiral and then rubber band. What?
So interesting.
Oh, folded in different ways. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, I love that.
It's like professional.
It's almost like a batik.
No way.
Yeah, what's the difference between batik and this? It's similar, right?
Yeah.
Is it just a type of print? Yeah, right?
Batik is what they do in Bali. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But I think this is.
I'm behind everybody, but I got mask.
Oh, nice.
It's kind of cooler on the back side.
Oh, I love
Maybe
it.
weird inside out.
No one would ever know.
I did do mine as an ombre, but it like a little uneven.
Oh, that's
That looks super cool. Ivana, yours is amazing.
I used acrylic squares.
Oh, Cassie, that
Oh, I love that.
Thanks.
That looks amazing, Ivana. That looks so cool.
It's beautiful.
And then here's my mask. I don't really know what happened.
It's so cool. I'm with you, Ivana. I don't. It's like
I don't know. I feel like I want to kind of dip it again a little.
You can. That's what I'm doing. I'm this one that I did the ombre, and I'm not a huge fan. I'm gonna re-dip the other side.
Yeah.
You want the clip?
This one's a binder clip. Kind of cool.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
cool.
That's cool.
That one's so cool.
I'm going for the tile look, apparently. All the things that I've done so far.
How did you do that one, Mary Beth?
So this one is really easy. It's basically similar to the first one in the booklet. But instead of using the squares, I basically use 2 binder clips around the printer on each side. So I'll do the fold again really quickly for you guys. It's really easy. Accordion fold. So you just do this in a square, kind of, and then you do just like large binder clips. Yeah.
Cool.
Ashley, which one's that one? Is that a sock?
What the hell?
I love it. You're on.
Ashley, with 2 boys, you should just do 2 different color batches. Then make the little guy a green color or whatever, and the other one, then you always know whose socks it is.
We have whites, we have gray.
Oh.
So you guys, if anyone wants to stay on, maybe we could do a big grid and we can all hold up our patterns and I'll do a screenshot or something. You guys want to do that? Make it cute.
It'd be cute.
Ugh, don't love this.
Are we supposed to hand wash it with mild detergent or throw it in the washer?
You can make sure to wash it with cold water first, and then do a normal wash with light detergent. Try not to use Tide. Mary Beth.
I recommend a cup full of vinegar in your what do you call it? Washing machine.
Okay.
That'll hold in the colors.
Oh, it didn't come with it.
Are we keeping it up or no?
That's awesome.
It's 5 right now. Or like 5 to 5.
All right. Well, you guys, we'll stay on.
Wow.
It's actually 5 already. That flew by.
It is 5 already.
It's crazy.
Few options.
Does anybody else have one they want to share on the video? Hold it up. Love it.
Oh, that one looks like Carla. I saw
Oh,
her.
that's amazing.
Oh,
Look at that. Oh, I'm seeing so many beautiful ones.
oh, Nicole, Shannon, those all look so cool. Oh my gosh.
There's Cassie. Hi, Cassie.
Hi, Cassie.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Cassie, I see yours.
Oh, Perla.
You're doing good.
Yay.
Here, let me show you what I made.
Cool.
And then
You're so pretty.
also, oh no, Chris made this one,
Awesome.
and we also have this one.
Sounds cool.
That's really cool.
Ours is still soaking. We don't know how they're looking.
Oops, there goes my spoon.
Cute. It kind of looks like
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. I'm gonna log off. Have fun.
Thank you,
Thank you
Helen.
for including me.
Good seeing you, Helen.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Your creations are beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we will share the recording if you guys want to share it with anyone else. And then we also have some resources you can share if you guys haven't been doing this with us live and you want other inspiration.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. If anyone has to sign off, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For stay on.
Thank you so much.
So good to see you.